Say hello to other people.
Hello.
Not that there's anybody here yet.
Calamara.
But we didn't announce anything.
Wait.
Because I wasn't sure what time we were going.
Oh, I need the evening version of that. I literally just learned greetings in Greek yesterday. Calamara is good morning. There's one for good evening. And I think I need to do good evening. But I do not know, doggy. I do not know what the good evening is. So for now, Calamara.
For the start of our wonderful history segment, we're coming to you from the 50th anniversary of an event known as the Rapid City Flood.
What are these flower thingies?
Which ones?
These ones.
I don't know.
I want to know if I can use them in spell.
I have to look it up.
In 1972, we had a couple freak weather phenomenon happen. One of them was two storms literally formed on top of each other, and there was no wind to push them away. And then there was a moisture-laden front that journeyed up here from Colorado that helped power it up. And then a second front out of Canada, which merged, and they just literally started cycling rain over and over and over again. And it started in the early afternoon.
Ow.
And what made it particularly bad was that it affected four major creeks in the Black Hills. It affected the Box Elder Creek, the Spring Creek, the Battle Creek, and Rapid Creek. Now, normally, Rapid Creek is like this. It's maybe ankle, shin deep, kind of meanders through the area. It's not very deep, not very wide,
We do not go as close.
very peaceful.
Very lovely. 10 out of 10.
Now, imagine this if you tossed in, say, 14 to 16 inches of rain an hour. Literally just dumping into the tributaries. Now, you can kind of see it through the trees, but this cliff face here, it goes up a good 40 to 50 feet straight up. And you have little springs and little tributaries. All that rain starts to flow down, and it flows into the Rapid Creek. Now, the first signs that they had of trouble came about 5 p.m. that night. Over here across, a little ways over, was Cleghorn Canyon. And they started getting fire departments calling for aid because, well, people were getting stuck in their houses and the floodwaters made it so they couldn't leave. These fire trucks were brave enough to actually drive out there, park, and try to rescue some of these people and get them to high ground. Some they could help and others they couldn't. Now, our particular grassy little area here, and this wall here, this is somebody's backyard. Earlier in the day in 1972, there might have been a house right there. We know over there was another house. And there was maybe 3 more along this stream. They're completely gone now. The flood either tore parts of them off, or in some cases, moved the houses completely out. They had cases where the lake downstream, about maybe 2 miles, got so clogged with debris and pieces that it clogged up the spillway 3 times. When the spillway got clogged the 3rd time, the crews couldn't do anything to save it. It basically overtopped the dam. We'll go head down there next and take a look at a couple of things. But, you know, this is what Rapid Creek for, you know, years, this is how busy it was. So it's easy to see how people were caught by surprise. Because if I took and told you, oh, by the way, this is going to rise in 14 feet in 5 minutes, would you think I was lying to you? That's what the flood did. We had 4 feet in 15 minutes, and by about 10:30 is when the mayor had to make the heavy choice, and that's when he ordered everybody to evacuate. But by that time, things were just getting uglier by the minute.
Do we want to head down further? Do you want to head back to the car? Or what do we want to do?
We'll head down a little bit, see some of the other foundation work.
Girl, we're going up a little bit. Yeah, there's some nice spices here. Yeah, it is pretty. I can see why people wanted to live here. It's very, very, very pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Who do we have here? Oh, I cannot see. Let's see.
Oh, this so lovely. I took a video to, you know, watch whenever I
Hi, hello, Pam, Berry, Brad. There's a foundation right there. What's left of it? Hello, Eastad.
I wish I knew what any of this was. I'm pretty sure I could use some of these in stars and whatnot.
Have to research it.
Definitely.
Hey, Peng.
Oh, so pretty. Ooh,
Pen
pretty
Peng?
flower.
There goes girl. Hello, Wills. We're checking out the floodplain, as we call it here in the city. Here's what used to be a fire pit. Somebody's fireplace.
Part of the wall still goes that way too.
Don't worry about it, Eastad. I always peek at work. I work from home, so it's very easy for me to peek at work. I spend most of my day on YouTube and work. Although I took today off because I wasn't feeling very good. I see the pretty flowers. I like the purple flowers. Right now we're walking along the floodplain. We're going to do a drive along the floodplain. Hello, Sea Bear. We get in the car. We will have the spirit box going. We will do the Nutrifonic app and the spirit box.
Orange flowers.
I see the orange flowers. I don't think I've seen those before.
Oh, we have to do so much research. Oh my God.
There's a wall of somebody's foundation.
A couple block segments here that might either been ripped off or thrown out by vandals.
But we thought since it was the 50th anniversary, it might be a good time to get some spirits. Go ahead.
Now, I did see a story earlier today that was kind of terrifying, but also somebody, when the human spirit wants to survive, they will do things. There was a family that lived in the Rapid Canyon, and they actually got out of their house and went up to, first they went to a guest house, which is higher up, and their original house got hit pretty good. But then when the second thing of water started rising, they went up a second level to get to safety. And them and 20 other people managed to find safety as well. But they were also the only people, that one housing addition, that thought, you know, maybe getting out of here might not be such a bad idea. Because if you didn't leave, you'd drown. And they actually had people that happened to. There's a campsite up by Keystone that it was part of the victims. They had 8 people die up there. More of your purple flowers.
You see that? We thought of being the 50th anniversary. Oh, look, there's some steps from a foundation and went up to a house once upon a time. Hello, Lynch Beach. We are roaming the floodplain. Later, we will do a spirit session. Right now, we're in the middle of what is now the dog park. The houses are not allowed to be built here, so they're using it for a dog park, which is awesome.
I need to visit more. It's very pretty here.
There's another section of wall and another stairwell.
Hi, Deborah.
I'm getting pictures just in case you want them.
Glad you were able to catch our live. We don't do very many of them. They're kind of random, and we never announce them.
There's some flagstones. I think that was a stove, a fire pit at one time.
Looks like a firehouse there.
Yeah.
I get pictures.
Oh, not roaming the plains today. Today we're roaming the floodplain. Well, I guess it is a plain, kind of.
No, we look at something actually pretty with interesting stuff.
At one time,
Hi, Krabby.
At one time, this is actually called the Rayburn.
Hello,
Edition.
Kyle.
Gothic leaves. Look at the Gothic leaves. They are purple. Oh, that is so pretty. 10 out of 10.
You were saying there?
At one time, this is called the Rayburn Edition, and there were 8 houses here.
Oh, yes, there were. You can see the wall here. Please check everybody out. Support one another. Also, thank you for joining our random live. Like I said, we will be doing the spirit boxes later. Right now, we're just walking the floodplain. There's a wall. Some more wall. 3.
That one actually leads back to another stairwell.
Yep, another stairwell. Sorry, Deborah. They said the accent is kind of random. My daughter's been learning Russian, and so all day today we've been kind of slipping into this Russian accent.
I don't know what's happening. Just go with it. It'll go away soon enough.
You usually do it without
English, so I'm safe.
And don't you usually realize I'm doing it. And I'm just doing it because she's doing it.
Look, it'll be fine.
Out this way. There's another
Thanks for
stairwell.
dropping in, Dad. It's really nice of you
Watch
to...
the mud.
Mud?
Mud.
I see that.
Oh, God damn it.
It did rain. I was going to try to do a short, raining on the day of the flood, but it stopped raining, which is good and bad. So I didn't get to do my short.
You know what's weird?
But
I got the Russian accent, but I do not have the Greek or the Norwegian accent. And I do more of those.
I don't know. Maybe you just don't know what they sound like because they haven't heard them on TV.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I know. I just said, oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty.
We do appreciate everybody stopping in and seeing our randomness. Today we're checking out the floodplain. Flood way up there.
Most of this through here got to be between 4 to 6 feet deep, and it carried most of the rain off to the Canyon Lake.
Is this where we want to turn, or do you want to keep going down further?
Let's turn here.
As I think this might be a good place to go up.
Doggies. 2 doggies.
And you can see some sidewalk there.
The biggest.
Yes, please check each other out, support one another.
How many Faye have you seen so far?
I've seen a few, Faye. There are a few down here.
I was about to say, I said hello to all of the ones that I've seen so far. They're very lovely, 10 out of 10. But you do not trust them. I did not know you were so close behind me. Why were you so close behind me?
Because they're going up. Oh. And if Angel was not so distracted by doggos, she would probably feel the spirits. And here's where I get into trouble if I don't watch where I'm going.
2 more babies.
I will step into a house, and then they land around me will disappear, and I will see house.
Driveway.
Daddy, you're going to really have to bring her over here just to sit and look at those doggos. Is this somebody's driveway or a sidewalk?
Oh, yeah. Oh, another dog.
I think it's kind of cool that they turned this area into a park for the doggos. Since they can't build houses here, it's a really pretty area. So it's a good thing that they can use it, put it to use.
And the
Very
dog
pretty
is
area.
selected.
Hello, Catherine. Hello, Kong Shin TV. And I apologize. Oh, hello, Alexis.
Is it the Catherine with the... Hello.
He's over here.
Is it the Catherine with the Loki profile picture, or Tom Hiddleston, I should say?
I don't think so. I think that is a different one. I have to look. I don't. In this picture, she's wearing a hat, so I don't think it's the same one.
Oh, babies. Oh, I want to hug them all.
I do appreciate the shout out video. Always appreciate shout out videos. And as I said, I will get you one up next week. Maybe on Monday. Trying to remember what video I have going up on Monday. I think. Hello, Dogo. And the logos.
Sweet babies.
Hello, Mimi. We appreciate everybody stopping by, saying hello, supporting one another.
I'm gonna say grab the K2 heater and sit at the table and watch what happens.
Oh, we could do that. If you want to go grab the K2 and the ball, we can sit at the table.
Okay.
Or you can hold this and I can go get it.
If you wanna do that.
In the memory of Jimmy Matruska, mayor of the dog park. He's mayor. He's special.
Yeah. I'm at 50, so we can stay for a little while.
Okay.
Hold this. Here, Angel. If you want, you can bring up the spirit app on that one.
See, at one time, this is where a house actually sat. Concrete pad, kind of like that one over there. And over by that pickup was another one. And there's this little roadway that just kind of meandered on through. Hard to believe at one time this was a neighborhood. It's all gone. And the goose, meanwhile, is having a chronic dog affection desire. Hi, Puppo. Hi, Puppo. Need to find new doggo.
I need a...
There goes somebody fetching a tennis ball.
Oh,
Doggo off to the chase.
You got that, right? You got the video.
Got the video, yes I did.
Should have came and chose me.
Doggo happy. Angel happy. Angel Gucci.
Totally fine.
Totally Gucci. Totally Gucci. Doggo's out running. Enjoying the outdoors.
I'm so happy.
Off they run.
I am so loved. The sweet baby.
Sweet doggos. There are a few.
Oh, he ran over.
Oh, get the ball. Go for the ball.
You get the ball.
Yeah, the ball. There you go. You can see where there's a house up on that cliff face right there. A few people did still, want to build up above. There is a couple houses on this side, but they're further down, and they, according to engineering firms, they were built to withstand a flood.
Oh, I need to pull up the
Hi, doggo. Big choco doggo. Hi, doggo. Wacko, wacko, doggo, doggo. Sniffle.
I totally spaced it.
Totally spaced it. Ow.
have it turned on. What?
Good.
What?
Is Jimmy here?
Hello, Jimmy, are you here? Thank you for being the mayor of this dog park. You are a wonderful human being. Ted, I heard the Ted.
Were you here during the flood? Was this where your house used to be?
You want to do the speak? I think I heard the yes.
How many were here with you?
I briefly heard a 12.
There's flood in one house.
Huh?
Was it a single house, or were there more people here before the flood hit?
Hey.
Did you try to drive away, or did you try to stay home, stay here and ride it out?
You do not have the key too.
K2 is gone. It's not in the glove box.
Oh,
Did we leave it at the house for some reason?
I don't know. If it's at the house, I don't know where it would be
Hi,
at the
Puppo.
house or why it would be at the house.
hello,
Yeah.
Puppo.
I don't know, I'm just trying to be hopeful, like maybe. Oh, sweet baby.
Well, here's your thing.
We got hold of what was it, Ted?
Oh, there goes the.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the table though? I think might have bumped the table. Never mind. Ignore that.
Yeah, we'll move away from it. Yeah, we did that. There was a doggo that came up straight to me. It said hello to me.
Okay, now we just don't bump the table. We'll see if the cat will go off. K2 will have to look for it at the house. We might have to replace it. If I can't find it, we'll have to buy another one. Because we'll need it for the trip.
A sweet baby. Oh, and a little older baby too. Oh.
Hey, Jimmy, if you can give that ball a tap, it'll light up for you.
Yeah, you just go tap tap. Oh, babies.
C. That's Celsius. I don't know what that means. I am not very good at math conversions. I don't know if that's warm.
I was about to say it's called something else, but
12, I think, is like 60, so 13 probably would be like about 64.
Okay, so that's warm.
Yeah,
It just seems like the opposite. And maybe it's because I'm used to Fahrenheit. I don't know.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
zero's
they
32,
play.
so
Oh, sweet babies. Meow. I will always catch you.
So how long did you live here before you passed on?
I heard the 4 years in my head. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just heard it in my head.
Now, did you live closer to the creek, or were you on this spot here?
I heard the creek.
Flood. I heard flood out of the box.
Yes, there was a flood indeed. Oh, doggos.
Thank you, Barry.
There's a tiny
I
one.
appreciate that.
There's a little one.
I'm not good with math. That's not a skill I have.
Itty bitty baby. I love. Oh, so tiny, so small. Sweet babies. There's more over down by the creek.
Some like family there.
Did any of your family survive and make it out of the flood?
I heard a yes.
It
Cool.
was right away.
Did you guys move away from here then, or did you move into another part of the town?
I don't blame you, Gary. I probably would have had to use Google too. Good night, Leech. Oh, I do not envy you at all, Lexus. 110 is too hot for the month of June. He lives in Las Vegas.
Leave.
It won't reach 100 here until August.
And thankfully, we don't have the humidity.
Wait, doggo.
Very true. It's a dry heat there, where right now it's kind of a moist heat because it rained earlier.
Yeah. Well, shall we start making our meanderings?
No, we shall not.
What time is it there? It is 7:42 p.m.
Oh, there's a big
Oh,
boy.
be safe, John Paul.
Friend.
It is tornado season. We don't have any here today.
Okay.
Hi, friend. You look like an Oreo milkshake. I would 100% name you Oreo milkshake. Oh, I love you.
Everything's got to get the sniff test.
Big. Oh, so fluffy.
Shago. Tattoo specialist.
Wow, 11 a.m. I knew it was morning for you, Jason. You're in the down under, so it's always the opposite there.
Good morning, down under. Oh, babies.
I didn't even know Canada had tornadoes, John. That's a new thing I've learned. Yeah, there's a lot of doggos. We're in a dog park, Krubby.
This used to be a neighborhood, but after the flood, they reverted into a dog park to make use of the land.
Hey,
What did
catching
you
them
use for it?
fish.
Oh, I would not mind.
You missed the creek.
I would not mind just coming here and drawing at this table or something. Let the doggos come by. Good meow.
Maybe you can talk Daddy into dropping you by occasionally.
Take me.
Oh,
Sorry.
was that you?
That was probably me. I forgot not to touch the table. What? What? What?
We'll go peek at the other concrete pad a sec.
All right.
F1.
We will head out here in a few minutes. We'll give her
Babies.
another 10 or 15 minutes. I don't think we want to stay that long, though.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, sweet babies.
We didn't see any fish, but I know people fish Rapid Creek. We're also going to Canyon Lake, where Joe's dad likes to fish. If we can ever get Angel to leave the doggos.
What? Hi. Baby.
She's enjoying the doggos more than she is the spirits of today.
Oh, the tiny one. Another big foofy.
Hey, cemeteries down under.
Oh, he go run. He get the ball.
Yeah, don't forget to check each other out. Like, share, comment.
Sweet babies. Oh, they're so happy. I love them. And the creek down there was so beautiful too.
It is a very pretty place. I'm glad that they turned it into a park when they decided that they couldn't build houses here. Not that I'd want them to build houses here, not after the flood.
I would not want them to do that.
Want to play? I heard want to play.
I'll play with you. What do you want to play?
Sure. I don't know that game.
I've never heard of that. Can you describe the rules? No? Okay. I can't play them. You don't boo me. I don't know how to, I've never heard of shirts.
Angie face. Angie face.
Listen, I gave them the opportunity to teach me how to play shirt. I've never heard of shirt. And then they booed me by saying, no, you don't know how to play.
Hello, Everyday Johnson. Welcome to our random live. I knew we were doing one today, I just wasn't sure what time, so yeah, we'll probably do one on the 14th. I just don't know if it'll be in the evening or the AM. Please check everybody out. Like, share, comment, and I'm wondering what Odie looks like. It has to be a a tan dog.
What?
She's calling for Odie. It has to be a tan dog from like Garfield.
Oh, right, up there.
Is that Odie?
I have
That
no
is not.
idea.
That is not a gray dog. That is not a tan dog. That is a black
Oh.
dog.
Shake my head.
Yes, this is my daughter.
Hello. Baby.
She's enjoying the dogs.
Tiny.
She she loves dogs.
I love them. Oh, it looks like a little Pomeranian. I love them.
Hello, Marichi. I don't know how to say.
Marachi.
Marichi.
Marachi.
Oh, her name is Angel. I call her Goose.
Hello. I get called Goose, Angel. My friends call me Mousy. I get called Chaos on YouTube. All kinds of names. All kinds.
Call her Mouse because she squeaks like a mouse when you surprise her.
I will stop you.
And she's very tiny.
I will stop you.
And she's very violent.
I'll stop you.
Hi, Classic.
I can't believe this. Look at this. Oh, they're so precious. I love them.
Night, Pam. I'm sorry, sweetheart. We can't help you. The flood has happened and we cannot help.
Oh, two big boys. Foofy. Another one.
She could literally sit here all day. Hi, Parasaurol.
Yes, I definitely could. I would not mind it, not in the slightest. Oh, look at them. I love
What is
them.
that?
That's a tree trunk. It looks like it melted.
I
What the
asked him
fuck?
what it is, and he said it's a tree trunk. Like, I didn't know this.
Well, I've never seen one that looked like that before. Have you?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Catching Fish says, you are a good editor. You did a great job on the intro.
Hell yeah.
She made that all by herself. She did lots of good work.
I grew up doing a lot of YouTube stuff. I do a lot of art and whatnot, so I have a little bit of knowledge.
Art runs in the family. Joe's dad's an artist. I have a couple uncles who were artists. It runs in the family. I don't have any art skill. I cannot draw with a straight ruler.
I think I might have taken it because I do little animation, I do painting, I draw on my arms sometimes, I do the traditional, I do digital art. Oh, Skype, babies!
She's been doing a random Russian accent all day, Alexis. You'll catch me doing it occasionally. Oh, sorry, Krabby. My name is Sue. This is Joe, the bearded historian.
Hi! Hello! Hi, Pupples.
We have like the floofy dogs that are coming by. Angel is in heaven.
How's the neighborhood?
See, she's so very happy.
Hello. Hello.
And this is why she's called Mouse. She squeaks. Look at her.
Odie.
The birds not crying. I love them.
It's a dog park, so yes, there are lots of pets. Lots of dogs.
Did you see how big and fluffy they were? They were so big and fluffy. And they were so friendly and they were so happy. I love them. Oh, I love them.
The problem will be getting her to leave.
Babies. I love them. Is there any more coming? I do not see any more of it.
Maybe you should start like a doggy hotel.
That would be amazing. I would love to do that. I think I saw that on Indeed. Like we have a pet hotel or something around here.
Yeah, there is one. We're in South Dakota. We're currently sitting in the middle of the floodplain, listening to the spirit box, watching the cat ball not do anything, and Angel's watching the doggos.
So many. I love them all. And there's even more down by the creek. The precious babies. I love them.
There's a birdie in the tree, but I don't see it. I can hear it though.
It's screaming.
He wants attention too.
It really does.
Hey Shay, welcome. Shay is new to our channel, so please check her out. She needs lots of new friends from our channel. So I saw her doing some singing. I don't know what else she does because I haven't had a chance to look at the channel other than a couple of videos.
Oh, the babies.
I've never been to New York, so we're fair there, Classic. South Dakota is the state with the Mount Rushmore. That's about all there is to see. We're a flyover state for a reason.
Not very interesting. Hello, babies. Oh, they go zoom.
Zoom. Oh, oh.
Ow. Another baby. They're so happy. I love them.
I would love to see New York someday. I think I would be very overwhelmed though in New York.
Hello.
Oh, sure. Joe, they want Ketchum wants you to tell them about the flood. He missed that part.
Okay, quick recap. 1972, we had a couple days of rain before June 9th, and it basically saturated the ground, kind of like what we got out here right now. You know, pretty wet, pretty damp. Well, what happened is that they had a couple storm cells pop up on Rapid, but then there was literally no wind, and two other cells pumped moisture into the storm front. And since it was already stuck on the Black Hills, it started just constantly creating rain. In some of the areas off here to the west, they were getting 14 to 16 inches of rain from these storm fronts. Rapid Creek is one of them. Battle Creek to the south, Spring Creek to the south, and Box Elder Creek to the north. And then as these storm cells continued to pump moisture into the system, it all started channeling down through Rapid Creek, which went from this nice, peaceful little ankle-deep body of water to a good 6 to 8 feet deep and growing. Now, over here was the Cleghorn Canyon area, and it started getting bad enough that the houses started breaking loose from their foundations. The ground is just absolutely soaked through. Nothing was holding a foundation any longer. This park out here, this all used to be houses. There was 8 houses in all. A lot of them would get smashed against a tree and just turn into pieces. And then it would channel on down to Canyon Lake. Well, Canyon Lake, they actually had crews out in this downpour trying to free up the spillway to keep water flowing and reduce the risk of flooding. That worked until the third time, when all of a sudden one of the boat docks broke loose and pinned itself against the spillway. It caused the water levels in Canyon Lake to rise by 4 feet in 15 minutes. About that time, the earthen dam at Canyon Lake got overtopped. And about 30 minutes after that, whoosh, all that water came right down the riverbed. Anything on one side of Jackson Boulevard was literally just shoved out of the way. They said at the time the water was going 35 miles an hour. But can you imagine what the weight of that was when it would hit? It would pick up a car like a bath toy, chuck it down the street. Now, the crazy part of it is this road right here, up at the top, this is Jackson Boulevard. It would play a couple key elements in the storm, because there were times that on that side of Jackson Boulevard, there was no damage. On this side, the neighborhoods looked like they'd been bombed. And it's just because of the way the channel was curved that it followed the natural course of Rapid Creek. We have a hospital on this side of town that was called Bennett Clarkson. I was born there. It actually went all the way around both sides and even flooded the basement and the first floor of Bennett Clarkson. People stayed in there all through the night and into the next day. Bacon Park, this great big strip mall that they had, the water went in the front and blew out the front. They had restaurants that were stripped all the way down to the concrete base. And then from about 10:45 till about midnight, it went all the way through and it ran into the downtown area of Rapid City. And that's where we'll take our next little trip to after a bit. Thankfully, the city was able to do some rebuilding, and they did a really neat thing called the Greenway, and that's kind of what this is like. There's 22 acres of parks that cut all the way from here through Rapid and all the way out to Rapid Valley, and that way the mayor and his team of administrators said, we will not allow anybody to sleep in the flood zone and die. And that's when they started buying the properties, moving people out, and securing that right so nobody would have to move into this area. Hi, Doggo. But that's pretty much, you know, how that flood happened. They and Rapid City wasn't alone. Downtown Keystone, about 15 miles closer to Mount Rushmore, it got hit. 8 people got killed up there when the campground got basically yanked from the ground and shoved down the canyon. They lost several hotels, lots of cars. In dollar figures, Rapid City suffered $160 million worth of damage.
This is in 1972.
72.
Thank you.
In the modern time, one of my buddies looked it up, it's about $1.2 billion. That's how much damage we took. There was over 300 houses that were completely destroyed, over 600 that were damaged. 238 people died from this flood. The biggest problem is that, you know, they've had flooding around here before. In '62, another flood similar to this one, everybody was panicky about it, and it put 2 inches of water in basements. That's a real severe flood. And so when these people were calling and knocking on doors telling them, you know, there's going to be a flood, they didn't take it seriously. They were like, there's no way that creek could rise. There's no way this could be dangerous. They had people that were going to the edges and looking down to see what the flooding was like, and got sucked off the cliff and died.
Smart people.
Oh yeah. People, when it comes to nature and they think they know something, usually learn the hard way. But are we ready to move on, or does the girl need another 15 minutes with doggos?
Well, it's almost 8, and my phone's at 30%, so. Hi, AAP, and hi, Gary, and Rowan. And Rowan, yeah, he knows a lot, and I've talked him into doing a Wednesday history lesson for everybody, because everybody loves his history. He's very good at it. I'm talking him into getting a teaching degree so he can teach peoples.
And we will try to put a book together.
He's going to do a book. I've talked him into that. Or actually, you guys have talked him into it. I guess I should give you credit where credit's due, because he's talked about it for eons, and now maybe he'll do it. Please like, share, comment. Those of you who are not mods, I apologize. I cannot mod on live. I'm going to have to start doing StreamYard again, because then I can at least mod people's. I didn't think about it because this was a last minute live.
We want to thank everybody who subscribed. We are over 450 subscriptions.
Our next goal is I'm hoping to hit 500 by my birthday so we can have a community tab. I want the community tab. I don't know why you have to wait until you get 500 people that like you to get it, but that is my new goal, my current goal. I don't know how to take that one, Parasolo. Parasolo said he wants your brain, babes.
Ooh. I can share some of the knowledge, that way I don't have to keep deleting files.
I can hear the horror movie music playing.
I was going to say.
Joseph is kidnapped.
Oh no.
In the torture chamber. He rips open the skull. He's like, ah, yes. Grabs it, eats it. Ah, yes, it is the brain of Joseph. I will be smart. Rips open his own head, cracks his own skull, takes up all the brain, puts it in. Ah, yes, I am the genius one now. Nobody can stand.
And then I come out the front section and go, have a look.
End credits.
And Angel just wrote a whole movie. There you go, Parasol, a whole movie. Okay, we head to a car. There's another foundation. The house used to be here. You can tell it looks like a driveway or a sidewalk.
Look at all the tree roots.
Tree roots. Amazing. It's a big tree though.
I love trees like this. See, this is why this is.
Yeah, she's something.
Look, I am creative. I am genius.
You're something.
I am creative genius. I am amazing. Simply the best.
I will talk him into good doing shorts. Shorts are hard because they're like 15 minutes or 15 seconds, and he can talk all day.
You got to compact it all into 15 seconds.
She suggested that you do historical shorts. Will get more people. She's not wrong. I just don't know how to do it in 15 seconds.
Yeah. I'd have to modify. I'd have to time it actually. Have Angel sit there with a stopwatch and then poke me every time I go too long. Poke.
Shut up.
Well, that's true. They can't go up to 1 minute, but still.
Might teach me to be more.
Condensive? I seriously doubt it.
Extra doubt.
Okay, we're backing up. We're going to take you along some of the pathway of the water. Are we heading to Bacon Park next?
No, we're going to go to Canyon Lake.
Oh yes, the lake. I forgot the lake comes first. I'm a genius.
Can I have drink?
No, drink is not allowed.
I'm so sad.
You're not old enough.
Oh, bitch. Don't make me stab you. I will do it. 10 out of 10.
We like to tease Angel and deny her things, and then we will give it to her. She did get the pop. She has pop.
I got popped.
Just so you don't think we're just being mean, because we're not just being mean.
It's so popped.
Now, here's another one of the concrete pads.
Yep, there's another pad.
And
Thank
then
you.
up here, back in the 40th, if I remember right, the city went out and made these signposts, and they tell some of the details of the flood. There is a little QR code, so you can download the information for the flood. I think that's online now too, and it will transit across the city. You can follow it, which is kind of nice. Sometime I'll have to grab a bike and go along the path.
Paragliders.
Oh, where?
We passed them. They're behind
Okay.
us now.
When we turn around, I'll look for them.
Yeah.
If I ever get a short that goes past 1,000, Rowan, you'll be the first to know. So far, our most popular one is May the 4th, and it's at like 450 right now.
Now imagine trying in the middle of a flood and all that rain, 16 inches, trying to hike up some of these hills.
Look at these hills, guys. We live in the hills.
And it's raining so bad that you can't even see.
Thousands. It would hit the high night near. How many people were here affected?
The
Ooh.
total population
I zoomed
around
out,
the
now I have
city
to
at
zoom
the
in.
time was about 40,000.
The purple flowers.
They're very pretty.
And down here is another dog park that they have.
No, it's a great idea, Rowan. I definitely will try it. It might take us a few tries because, like I said, a minute's not very long. But I have talked him into doing a This Week in History every Wednesday. But some shorts, definitely something we can try.
Oh, the breeze feels nice. Still not close
Yeah.
to the plus.
Are we going down Magic Creek?
Yeah, we'll take Magic Creek for a
Or
quick look.
Magic Canyon?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is another
Oy.
area that was affected by the flood. You can see where they're using small houses, stuff like that.
Oh, I should plug this one in, and I should turn on. Here, I'm going to turn on the spirit box. I'll turn on the other spirit box.
Not the big one.
Camping or overnight parking. Yeah, see, there's 3 or 4 of these.
Hang on.
I know. I just did.
Scanning AM.
And then
There it
there's
goes.
some stranded houses. And, they probably somehow have gotten the code to stay. Go through here.
I don't know why you would want to live here. I love water. I would love to live by a creek or a lake. But after hearing how bad this flood was, I would not live here. Yes, we do have Instagram, Krubby. A lot of these people have Instagram. I know AAP does not.
Now, there is one place beyond this. I don't think we'll go up there tonight because we'll run out of daylight. There's the Dark Canyon. And sometime we could take a trip up there that's kind of enlightening because that's where you get the best view of understanding that when the storm hit, there was no way for these guys to get out of there. It literally is, well, it's a canyon ahead. Go ahead and try to imagine climbing up that.
Now they
in
were going up it
a
to try to get away from the water
Yeah.
in the rain. And
Lightning.
this is red clay, sleet, shale. It's stuff that does not hold very well. Breaks fairly easy.
But anyway, the night of the flood, you know, they had already closed this down by 9 o'clock. You couldn't get down this road from Hasiga, and you couldn't go back that way. There was just too much water. The road was already underwater. Like I was mentioning, the mayor had already made the call for evacuations. By 11:15, 11:30, you know, the dam had already topped over. You know, 10:30 had come along, and the people were ignoring it. He went door to door, knocking on people's doors, saying, "You need to get out of here now." There was one case where a guy said, "Well, it's not going to happen," and he told him, "Okay, well, give me your name, your address, and your next of kin, so we can let them know that you died during the flood." That's how serious he was. This is a mayor who is actually a young guy at the time. I think he was like 29, which is really young for a mayor to be running a town, but he had to make the hard choices. Some people believe that he probably paid for it with his career because when the next election came up, he was voted out. But this over here is the fish hatchery. It got flooded out during the flood. The fish all wound up obviously heading downstream. The easiest way to empty tanks, I guess.
That's one way to do it.
And they've actually rebuilt this twice now. The roofing is kind of nice because it reduces the fish kill that they have due to sunlight. And then they, send these fish off to places like Center Lake, Legion Lake, Pactola, Deerfield, different places in the Black Hills. Excellent fishing up here. For those of you fishermen that follow our channels, this is a great place to go and catch your rainbow trout, your bass, fishing like that. Good, strong fighting fish. Not as good as your northern pikes, but
Hi, Gloria.
Now, over here on our left is one of the bigger churches of the area, and this one actually was used as a shelter a couple of times.
Yep, there's Canyon Lake over there.
Yep.
And
this is the Canyon Lake. This was the starting apex for the entire flood, because at the time Canyon Lake was smaller. At the most, it held 500 acres of water, size-wise. And the problem that they ran into was that the dam was inefficient. It actually was the third time that they had to rebuild it when they built this in '76. This sign had debris covering all over the gate. We'll give you basically a stare right at the nose of where the dam ruptured, because this is part of the dam right here.
hi, Heavy Mental Mamas, and you definitely should try the app and see if you can talk to your dad. There's all kinds of apps. I recommend Necrophonics. It's only like 9.
Comics.
Hello, Heavy Metal Mamas. Hello.
You're too old for playground. It seems so much smaller.
Yeah.
Look at these crazy people on the hill. I will never live on a hill like that, right above the lake.
Oh my.
They're going to fall into the lake one of these days.
Now, up there on top, if I can see it, there's a
Somebody
concrete
said yes.
platform. And that was one of the gauges that they had to open the spillway. And it was part of the pivotal point. It blew out when the dam ruptured. And then all that water came right down through here, straight out through there. At one time, this golf course was only 9 holes. Now it's 18, because they took those families. There was a street called Dunbarton Street. In fact, it was written about in Life magazine that year. It was called Nightmare on Dunbarton Street.
Got it.
And these guys were like, we had no idea a flood could happen like this. Now over here,
No,
the
Barry, he
spillway
does
is.
not have a History Channel, but I'm trying to talk him into it. Because he'd be very good at it. I think it would be very popular.
Send it over to the History Channel.
Honestly, I think the History Channel could hire him. Hey, Luscious.
But you know, they had all these channels, and then of course after the flood, you know, they decided to open the spillway up. It's twice the width that it used to be. You know, they wanted to take care of that problem because, well, when the dock lodge gets shut, you know, it was just asking for an accident. Now you could probably park 3 cars across the front of it, and it would still be able to allow water to go through. Of course, you know, get ducks.
Hello, ducks.
Wildlife through here. Good fishing. A fish just jumped right there. A couple of them.
I don't think there's any in that one right now.
Probably not.
I was looking, but I didn't see any.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on 225 catching.
Nice catching.
Make sure you like, share, comment, check out anybody you haven't checked out, please. We want to support each other.
I see this is one of the nice parks that they have in town now. Canyon Lake Park used to be a place that had like diving boards and all sorts of extra features. After the flood, they did away with a lot of that just because they wanted to turn it more into a fishing area. I mean, kids would still come out here and walk through some of the trenches, as we used to call them.
We still call them trenches.
Yeah. Of course, there's some of them that are completely algae filled, but that's beside the point. We'll give you guys a quick view of the spillway here. This bridge was destroyed.
Yeah, totally destroyed. Bye-bye, bridge.
It ripped completely from its moorings and wound up down a couple blocks. Flood waters at 35 miles an hour. They gave the cubic feet in one of the books that I read, and it was, you'd be like, oh hell no, I wouldn't live anywhere near this creek. You know, people to this day, you know, 50 years ago, there's people that are still terrified by the sound of rain on a
Look,
boat.
there's the spillway.
Yeah, there's your spillway.
I like your the comment there, Gloria. The catching caught you. Look at that, guys. Let me roll down my window.
And see, that's the new spillway. The old one was only about a third of that size. And they used to have a caretaker's cabin over there about where that white truck was. With the flood, was pretty much a foregone conclusion. One of the mayor's aides knocked on the house of the guy that ran it, and they had their food on the table. And the guy said, "You guys got to get out of here, like now. Just go." And it's like, "But we're just getting ready to have supper." He says, "Just go now." They went down across the bridge. They never found that cabin. That cabin was gone. Probably an old debris that took a trip down the creek. We're going to go look at some of the overhanging area where Dunbarton was.
Dunbarton? I'm not familiar with that one.
That's because it's no longer a neighborhood. It was completely destroyed. It's now, I think they call it the 11th and 12th holes of Metalwood. Yeah. Of course, there's still some neat canyon work over there on that side. During Pokemon Go,
I like Pokemon Go.
went out driving into some of these places in the middle of the night. You know, neighbors looking at, what the heck are you doing? Looking for invisible monsters.
Good therapy.
Yes.
The monsters.
Yes.
Our son's favorite attraction right there, the firehouse.
Yep. We do have to give kudos to the fire department for their car seat program, because both our kids benefited from car seats. And they were nice enough to install them in the cars that we had at the time.
Mostly because we had no clue how to.
Learning lesson. But the other thing that was, kind of surprising to a lot of people was how far back when the water would go. It was flowing back up in here. A couple of years ago, when we would have downpours, there were lakes out here that formed up because of all the water. And I think they had to cut their golf course season into a third because there's just too much rain.
Golf has a season?
Yeah. After snow and before snow. Of course, if you're ambitious, you get a glow-in-the-dark golf ball and go out and putt then, but,
Okay, then.
Big old trees. No outlet. Gee.
What?
Why? Oh, look at the big birdhouse.
That's a cool birdhouse.
And then there's these narrow little streets. I can imagine in the middle of a flood getting out of here was an absolute nightmare.
Oh yeah, I imagine it was very much entertaining trying to get it through the streets during the flood.
Did you record the TV?
I would think that the camera pointed the other way, baby. I did not see the camera.
I'll flip around here in a few minutes. Evergreen.
You could get your own camera out and take a picture. You know that, right?
Oh.
Bye, Gary. Thank you for jumping in. Appreciate it. Yes.
I thought so. It just kind of looked like an Instagram live for a second.
I need to do StreamYard because on the Facebook Live I cannot add people, the wrench to the peoples, and I cannot make them my wrenches. So I need to start going back to doing. I think that's what I did when I did the air show, and that's why I could do it on two phones because I can't do this one on two phones.
Now, at this point here, between here and the house across there, they used to have a couple neighborhoods, 2 or 3 of them. And again, like I was mentioning with Jackson Boulevard, that's the road over there. All the damage was here. On the other side of Jackson Boulevard, it turned that place over there into an island. They have no damage over there. One of the guys that lived on Dunbarton went and knocked on his boss's door and says, "Hey boss, we got hit by a wave of water, a wall of water." And the guy's like, "You kidding me?" He says, "Yeah, your house is fine, mine's gone." And that was the first sign that they knew that something was dreadfully wrong with this flood that was going through. Other little tidbit I learned, there was actually 2 walls of water that happened. Because there was a first channel effect that was going on. And that's when they started trying to work with the spillway systems to try to release the pressure. And then when the spillway got clogged and it overtopped, that's when the second wall of water came through. Which would be kind of a horrible surprise, survive the first one and then get killed by the second one. A lot of water. And of course they had their own peak over here. The school over back there, it also, it had damage. They had people from as far away as eastern South Dakota that were bringing in supplies, clothing, donations, helping try to repair and clean stuff up. They were doing all this, just whatever we could do. There was one letter that said that some lady who will remain unnamed,
But they don't have kitty now.
I thought I saw it in front of the house.
Yeah, completely said, just make it unnamed. $50,000 put it right on the mayor's desk. Help people. And a lot of money was donated to try to help people, get through the flood and stuff.
Good luck at your fishing event catching.
Catch me a big one, buddy. But see, this is the other little feature that they also did that's kind of neat. They did a lot of waterway clearance to take care of flooding and stuff, to navigate where water would build up and where water could be, moved to the creek and make it easier for it to flow out of the city. Hey, ambulance crews. Hi, guys.
Hello, fire department.
Sue hates it that I can wave at people and they wave back.
My husband can talk to anybody about anything.
No.
Joe and I are not quite as social. Or Angel and I are not social. Tired.
Mommy's tired.
Ay.
Okay, on we're going to go. The next feature I want to point out is going to be a place called Storybook Island.
Storybook Island is a place we will take you wandering one of these days.
And
Hey, weightlifting! Glad you made it. Come drive with us. Joe, meet Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Weightlifting's name is also Joe.
Is he bearded?
No,
No, darn.
he is not bearded.
Not the bearded one.
Not like Side is.
God. And now we're on Jackson Boulevard. This is, like I was saying, was one of the dividing features for the flood area. Now, Storybook Island, the crazy thing with it was they rebuilt it. It was on one side of the creek. They moved it to the other side. Almost the entire park was destroyed. A couple of the features that they managed to save, there was a thing called Willie the Whale. There was the pumpkin from Cinderella. The railroad had donated a locomotive, and so as far as we could tell, it never moved from the spot that it sat at. Now here's the other side of the golf course. Like we were mentioning, it came through here. Now it came down to this end, and there's the bridge, and it went like that. It made this big turn at Jackson Boulevard Park, and there were some ball fields that were inundated. We used to have an amateur team called the Rapid City Chiefs until they discovered a horse left over from the flood. After this bridge here was wiped out, and then over here where the waters continued to flush and basically make its own new channel.
I dig 'em. And the static was our spirit box, but Joe's talking, so I don't think we're going to hear anything, so I turned it off. And my phone just went sliding.
Wow.
Bye-bye phone.
Started off and yeeted it.
Yeah, it just went.
Now this over here was all wiped out, and they actually said a little bit ago that one of these houses, when it finally, when the lady who lives there passes on, they're going to let the city tear it down.
If you have a wrench, check everybody out. If you don't have a wrench, I will get you. I apologize. I cannot do wrenches on lies. Continue.
And over here is the ball fields. When they did the greenway, they said the two things that was going to be key is that they were going to be recreational areas so that nobody would sleep overnight in these locations, but also parks, places where people could go out and play. And so ball fields made a natural, logical, statement for the rule. A couple of these places were like schools, where Kim and Custer is over here, and South Canyon Elementary. And of course then, up here there was a hillside, so there really wasn't much water going that direction. So it continued on down this way.
I'm glad you could catch our live. We're talking about the Rapid City Flooded. It's his 50th anniversary. And Joe's telling all he knows, which is a lot.
Sorry.
No, keep talking.
We're going to be talking for hours.
Ever.
I
I
have
think you
left-
studied the subject too long, it happens.
I have left this reality.
I did love playing softball here though when I was younger too. This is the old Whitehead Field, and Church League would play here, City League would play here, over in the East Field. I had a perfect record in rain games. I was 1 win, 1 save, and 0 for 9 in regular games. I did well. Now over here, which is now just a pumpkin shelter, and the Parks Division has their little area. This over here used to be Storybook Island, and there's all these flowers. Which is
I love the
pretty.
flowers.
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
And then they'll take the flowers in the spring and they'll move them over to places like over by the Civic Center.
Later, Gloria. Oh, wow.
Little bumpy road.
Bouncy bounce. Oh, wow.
If I remember right, there used to be a house over there too, but I think they tore that down too.
I switched the camera.
Oops.
They were seeing less interesting things. They were seeing me.
Ow. Poor mommy. Should be nice to mommy. Now, over here you can see, there was the bridge there. There's a bridge there. I'm not sure what the story with the picnic area, if that was part of the old Storybook Island. But you can see through the trees where the new Storybook Island is set up.
We will be visiting the new Storybook Island. Well, it's not new, but new compared to the old one, which no longer exists.
Now, there's one of the markers that we were talking about earlier.
Let me see if I can zoom into it. I cannot zoom very well. There we go. There we go. There's one.
And kind of like Canyon Lake Park, they have channels on the other side of the creek on that side too. And around the front side of it, they actually have a marker that's kind of cool because it'll show exactly how deep the water was. And if I remember right, the marker on the front part of that park was taller than I was. So that shows you how high the water was when it came tearing through here. All right, on we go. But yeah, it's hard to imagine, all the rain, all this was underwater. They had people that were, in the trees screaming for help. At 35 miles an hour, you couldn't take a boat out because the boat would just off, it would disappear. They had a couple good things that happened because of the flood during the timing of it. One of them was that every year they have war games out here for the South Dakota National Guard. And since they were in town, one of the guys said that he went to the guard camp to check out, and the guy says, good, get a cup of coffee, you're going back in. And yeah, they were doing 48-hour shifts because they needed that much help. They closed up the entrance there, I see.
I see that. Must be doing something up there again.
Yeah.
See you later, Diggum.
They can check out.
Diggum, check out. She's on her way home, I guess.
Now, interesting
things up.
part, from what I remember seeing up here, there used to only be one ball field. There's 3 now. Because apparently the only one that they had used to be just the Rapid City Chiefs. That park wound up becoming the one for Post 22, and then they just built 320 here, and so the third one must be a practice field from what I could garner. But then we got the next part of the park section, which is Sioux Park. This one is kind of interesting because they also had a rocket slide.
Oh, the rocket slide. Hi, Urbanex.
The rocket slide is always a favorite for any kid that grew up in this part of town. Burn your butt trying to slide down it during the summertime.
It was the biggest slide, but it was also metal and hot as hell in the summer.
Very noisy during hailstorms, too. But at the time, it was just tennis courts. The pool was there, and there used to be some houses on the other side of it, and they tore most of those houses out. Several of them were destroyed, others were damaged beyond repair. And you can see over here where they expanded the parks a little bit. There's now an oversized track field and a practice field for soccer. looks like they got something going on in the parking lot.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
Or that some people enjoying the park.
Now, over here
Playground.
to the left, this all used to be houses. And there used to be there's the flower gardens here too. Where that sundial is, there actually was a car sitting in the middle of it. The flood dropped it right there. And then, of course, over here is Bacon Park. Now, the hospital is right there, the big red building.
There.
Again, people actually stayed overnight in that building on the second and third floor using flashlights because they couldn't get out. It was just such a huge amount of water. For the irony of it, one of the people that it was named after, Bent, was one of the first people that arrived there the next day via helicopter because he'd gotten stranded up in the Black Hills and his wife was injured. And so they, with their indubitable wealth, was able to transport themselves to the hospital.
Night weightlifting.
One of the other neat little tricks that they were able to do with the flood was that in an effort to clean up after all the mess, they actually took and the National Guard would string up wires and try to wipe down as many of the medical files as they could. Just like 2,000-3,000 folders of patient records strung up by lines, very deliberately, very delicately, trying to clean as much as they can. They saved, I think, like 98% of the records, which would be a heck of a magic trick.
I mean, pretty good. Actually, really good.
Well, I've seen pictures of this area through here. It looks pretty well, bombed. Obviously, Walgreens is new. A lot of these businesses. There actually used to be a Mr. Donut over there where the Cold Stone Creamery is. There was a gas station here where Walgreens was. Safeway is still there, which is kind of funny because I guess the night of the flood, they actually set up a human chain to run over there and get supplies for the people in the hospital, canned goods.
See the dinosaur? That's Dinosaur Hill. We'll go there someday.
That would be fun.
As long as we don't do it in the heat of the summer.
Right.
I was about to say that to the person that's there. I don't want to go down.
I don't care.
Apparently.
I just couldn't see the dinosaur through the dirt on my window. I'm like, assume it's weird.
Now, on this side of the town, on this side of the road, we start getting into the place where more and more damage and actually the dead started to show up.
Good night, Barry.
Over here where Blaze Pizza was, there used to be a bar, and it was destroyed, and I think 4 or 5 of the dead came from it because they didn't realize how bad it was. Over here in this area, there was a trailer park, and
That's not a good place for a trailer park.
trailers tend to float in water, and it was just not good all the way across. There were trailers on this side. Now it's a soccer field. If I remember right, there was a patch of trees down here, and a trailer actually got lodged against it, and it managed to keep the people in it alive because they, otherwise the trailer would have tumbled. But it also kind of acted as a breaker because any buildings behind it were protected, and so there was every once in a while you'll hear about a small miracle with the flood, the timing, the efforts. From the files of Morbid, there was an actual conference at the School of Mines about death and dying that night, and a couple of the doctors actually hiked over the hill to get to Bennett Clarkson to work. And I can just imagine some people showing up in the middle of the rain, covered in mud, in formal wear, saying, "Hey, we're here to help the hospital."
That definitely would have been a sight, that's for sure.
All this was gone. They tore all this out, but then after they made some adjustments to the floodplain, they allowed plazas to be rebuilt in this area, which I'm a little leery on, because if we do have another flood similarly, these things would definitely be hit. This big bank here was another one that I just kind of shake my head at, knowing somebody had money and somebody was able to pull some strings. But now, the one sad part that I can't imagine what it was like surviving. This big green area over here, at one time, this was all houses. And they weren't anything fancy, 1-2 bedroom houses. Some people would call it a ghetto, some people would call it a shanty town, but it was where people lived. They were workers, they had jobs, they might be the guy pouring you coffee in the morning.
Oh my god, the abandoned thrift family dollar thing looks like a little space inside.
It probably is.
I want to go.
But this is all wiped out. And I mean, not by bulldozers. The waters just literally scraped it right off the ground. My grandma and grandpa used to live down here.
Hi,
Their
Leo.
place was destroyed.
That's a bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
The bunny rabbit riding a motorcycle. That is something you do not see every day.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they can see it by now.
I don't think they can anymore.
I did read one thing also that was kind of interesting. One of my fellow co-workers said that this mill right here, the silos, his brother was driving a car past here when the wall of water hit it, and the sound was something incredible. Just a loud clonk from all that pressure hitting it, and then it shot the water that direction. It was like a glancing blow, ricochet. And he was able to survive the flood because he kept going down Omaha here. He originally thought about turning back there on 5th, but he decided to come up here to the Roosevelt Park and turn, and it actually saved his life. All these car lots were very big back then, especially in this area.
Still very big.
Where Holiday used to be the Ford dealership. It literally turned the cars into an effect called elephant, because all the cars were propped with their engines down, except the Volkswagen, in a row. And if you look up Rapid City flood and cars, that's usually the first image you're going to see, is this row of cars in front of a Ford dealership that way. But as you got further down here, a lot more, damage, destruction, debris. The water started to settle a little bit more through here. Again, this was part of the town where you started finding a lot more of the bodies, a lot more of the debris, occasional parts of houses. This is where it starts to turn into the valley, because it's a lot more flat. There still were some more houses, trailers to that regard, but it took a lot of time for cleanup. Everything was covered in silt, and the number one thing you're going to hear from people when you talk to them about the flood was the smell. Everything had almost this pungent smell to it, like a mix between mold and sewage. And it's because everything that came out of the creek, it had that silt texture to it. And a couple times we've talked about the idea of going up to where they buried a lot of the debris and just going for a walk through it with a metal detector. Up here is one of the sites that they buried a lot of their debris. And yes, for once in a while you actually see ghosts up there too. But,
Oh yes, definitely. See lots of ghosts here. I'd love to do a walk through here, but it's a very busy area and not a very safe area. So that is
no grass grows there ever.
no grass has grown there for over 50 years.
They've tried a couple times. They just couldn't get it to stick. I still say I don't know who was on marijuana, but they built trailers over here.
I still cannot believe that these guys are. I would never.
No.
It's like Magic Canyon. I would never live there. Ay, ay,
You wouldn't be
ay.
able to sleep through the night. The ghosts keep you up. Now I was going to do one more loop over here, and one of the other images that tend to come out about the flood is there's a spot over by our fairgrounds where the trailers literally look like matchsticks. They said that by the time the water got there, again it was low, but it still had strength, it still had mass, and so a lot of these trailers, there was maybe 150 to 200 trailers in this one park, just a huge. And that was one of the biggest things. I mean, we still have trailers. This is one of the little trailer parks that we have up here. But less than 2 days after the flood, one of the trailer park guys went to the city and says, "Well, when can I rebuild my trailer park?" And that's when the mayor and a couple of his assistants huddled together, and that's when they made the decision. They said, "We're not going to allow anybody to rebuild in those floodplains." And people were unhappy.
When aren't people unhappy?
Well, especially when you were making money off of a very cheap way to use your land. I mean, granted, now they can do it with storage units, but at the same time, a trailer, that was, where people would live. Might spend between, $200 to $300 for rent. People obviously buying the trailer would spend more. But a lot of that down there, all they could reset. They could put the trailer parks back. Now there's a few places where trailer parks are now. There's one down there by the old Family Thrift that's set up, but again, I think it's far enough out of the floodway that they were able to set up a good 60 to 80 units. But the big one down here, and we even had some times, we're going to see if we can't luck out and find somebody awake tonight. And see who's in the neighborhood. Down here by the fairgrounds. Also an interesting item, and not sure what the story is, but I also noticed that we used to have a feature in Rapid here called the Hawthorne Trench. Hawthorne Trench dated back to the early 1900s, and it was one of the main waterways that they used to run water out to the valley. Well, last couple times I've gone by there, it looks like they're trying to fill it in. And I'm not sure what to make of that, whether they finally got permission from Rapid Valley to close it, or if they're sealing it over on top, so transients don't accidentally fall in it.
Which has happened a couple times.
Yeah. Because the Hawthorne Trench is think of the trench on the Death Star. It's long, it's got high walls, and it's very solid, made out of concrete. If you fell in it and you were intoxicated, you might have a problem getting out of it. And it's a direct feeder line off of Rapid Creek down here. Looks like they got a rodeo going on.
Maybe, or it could just be summertime. I was trying to think if there was something going on with
Demolition Derby.
Ah.
Aha.
Gotcha.
Little boring things that they do around here. We like to smash stuff.
Good nightmare.
But yeah, see, all that used to be trench, and now it looks like they completely filled it in.
I see that. Interesting.
Yeah. And I don't know if maybe they just finally concreted it over and turned it into kind of like a pipe, or what they did, but yeah, I'm not sure what they did, but
There's also another very popular fishing spot. I see lots of people fly fish here.
oh yeah. I got a couple clips in my history file that usually in the springtime, this is so high because of all the runoff. This time it actually looks pretty low compared to what we usually have, so
Yeah, it's not too bad right now, which is weird.
yeah. Definitely need more rain, which is a weird thing to say right now, but And see, like we mentioned, there's there's a third marker sign right there.
Oh, there it is. Where? I see it.
One of the other weird things that they had happen during the flood was the School of Mines sits right over the hill. And because of where they had their...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I see that. Right tree service. They getting ready to cut down some more trees or something?
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, they got their whole freaking fleet out. But what wound up happening is where they had... they called it a conversion dam. And when the water hit it, instead of it pushing the water this way, it actually ran it right into the School of Mines. And it was bad enough to the point that their library flooded, the football field flooded, and I think a couple of their parking lots were destroyed.
Hi, Wagon. Thank you for popping in. We appreciate it. Hi, Polar Bear.
But it all used to be a great big trailer park all the way over to there to Campbell. I'll pull open a picture if I can real quick. You guys can see what this mess looked like. Okay, there's the elephant cars. You notice the Volkswagen is the one that's facing up instead of down because of the placement of the engine in the car.
Hi, Ruka.
That's all in front of us right now.
That is what that looks like. That. There. That. There. Oops. Yeah, it must have been something.
I mean, back where the car dealership was, just a little bit of a traffic snarl there. Should we do it here or over by those trees?
Those trees?
Those trees.
Do what?
Do a,
You gonna do another session?
yeah. And we'll park right next to it to turn the box on. Maybe the kids will talk to us.
Yeah, we see some kids down in the trees. We can go over by the trees.
Okay.
See if we can get the kids' attention today.
I'd like to announce.
The kids are here.
Yeah, I have 5 kids with me at the moment.
Hi, guys.
You said maybe we can get the kids to talk, and they all looked at each other like, are they talking about us? We've been there a while.
Well, we'll introduce them to the other kids over here because there's a tree house for them all to play in.
Chad just went, yeah, we know them already. we know all the kids.
Don't mind Joe. He's okay. He's being weird. It's okay.
Kitty! Baby!
Kitty,
Oh,
kitty.
sorry, Shelby. Kitty.
Okay, I will get this out again. On the Joe breeze. Yeah, we see kids all the time over here. Sometimes we'll come and just sit and park by these trees down here. They love these trees. I'm surprised we're giving the owner of this house a complex.
Xbox.
Can I have the drink?
FM.
No, you're not allowed. You're not old enough. I know, it's wonderful.
Scanning. AM. Line in.
No, I didn't mean that.
Bluetooth.
Not that.
Playback.
Not that. Go on.
Scanning. FM.
One more. Come on. There we go.
Scanning. AM.
Now start. Oh. There we go. I heard scared.
The good thing is the flood can't harm you guys. Where are we going? We try to make things safe for you guys.
That was definitely a radio station.
Yeah. Did you guys enjoy playing in these trees? It's been a while.
I didn't catch that. Something. I heard get out. 7. Why? Don't say random things. Really? Yes, really?
Are you guys sad that they took all the trailers away? Won't let them build here anymore?
You think it's a good thing? Three or tree? Tree? Yes, we're staring at a tree.
Do you guys enjoy seeing more people through here, or is it kind of disturbing to you guys?
Hey, listen. What do you want us to listen to? Painless?
There's painless weather out now.
That's good. Chastity? Are you looking for Chastity? Oh, Cassidy. What is this, Five Nights at Freddy's? I'm sorry. I did not appreciate that one. You're pressing? Trespassing? No, we're not trespassing, sweetheart. keep digging. And added people monitored this way. I'm amazing. Not as if I had figured that out an hour ago. That almost sounded like Get In Too. Did you think maybe that was a boat rescuer?
That's what I'm thinking. But I know they had to do several rescues over here. Did you get them loaded safely? The first aid station's down there.
Find me? I'm afraid it's too late for that one, sweetheart.
Are you in the trees?
AOT, that's definitely a radio station.
Yeah.
That's a radio station.
Was it very loud out here for you guys? Sound of trailers and everything? The good news is the flood did end. The water went down. At 5 a.m. it was back in the tanks over there. The damage is done. For some of you, the life will go on. Some went to different schools, some moved to other states.
Where we are now used to be a trailer park. It's now a polo field where nobody actually plays polo. This is a bunch of trees where we see children's spirits a lot near the polo fields.
There's even a tree house back up in here too. I think we're about done for the night.
Military?
Military.
That was random.
Did you National Guard? We saw them here too. Guys in green outfits.
I mean, I guess technically they'd be military.
Yeah. Radio station.
Radio station sounded like Rapid City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing anything else.
I don't think so. You guys spent a lot of energy.
Thank you for visiting us. We do appreciate it. You want to say goodnight?
Well, part of the Bud Files is the bearded historian.
You want to say goodnight, Miss Bud? Where are you at? There you is. It's
Good
dark back
night.
there. Night.